They took his clothes. They took his manuscript, the life's work he had carried into the camp, hidden in his coat lining. They took his wife. They took his mother. They took his brother. They took everything. And in the darkest place on earth, in conditions designed to strip a human being of every reason to live, he found something they could not take. And what he found in that darkness became one of the most important ideas in the history of human thought. Stay with me, because what this man discovered in the worst circumstances imaginable may be exactly what you need to hear today. Before we continue, subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it with someone who is struggling to find a reason to keep going, because this story, above all others, is for them. I'm Dr. TJ, a Harvard Fellowship-trained surgeon and a distinguished Toastmaster, the highest honor in Toastmasters International, earned by less than 1% of members worldwide. And everything I am about to share with you comes from decades of real-world experience at the highest levels. He was born in Vienna, Austria in 1905. From childhood, he was fascinated by one question above all others: what makes life worth living? Not a casual question, not a philosophical exercise. A burning, urgent, personal question that drove everything he did. He studied medicine. He specialized in psychiatry and neurology. By his 30s, he had developed a groundbreaking approach to psychology. He called it logotherapy, from the Greek word logos, meaning. His central idea was radical in its simplicity. Human beings can endure almost any suffering if they have a reason for it. The search for meaning, he believed, was the primary motivation of human life. Not pleasure, not power, meaning. He had written a book about it. He carried the manuscript with him everywhere. In September 1942, he and his entire family were arrested. They were sent to the concentration camps. And his theory, the idea he had built his career on, was about to be tested in the most unimaginable way possible. He arrived at Auschwitz. The manuscript, his life's work, was taken from him immediately. Gone. Over the next 3 years, he was moved between 4 concentration camps. He witnessed suffering beyond description. He lost his wife, Tilly, who died in Bergen-Belsen. He lost his mother, who was killed in Auschwitz. He lost his brother. He himself nearly died multiple times. And in that darkness, something extraordinary happened. He began to observe, not with detachment, with desperate, urgent attention. He watched which prisoners survived, not physically, but spiritually. He watched which ones kept their dignity when everything else was gone. And he noticed a pattern. The ones who survived, who kept something human alive inside themselves, were not always the strongest. They were the ones who had found a reason, a person to live for, a work to complete, a future to return to. They had found meaning even there, especially there. He watched a man share his last piece of bread with another prisoner. He watched a woman find joy in a single tree she could see through a crack in the wall. He understood with absolute certainty that the last human freedom is the freedom to choose your response to anything, to everything, even this. He survived. On April 27, 1945, American soldiers liberated the camp where he was held. He walked out, weighing less than he had ever weighed, having lost nearly everything he had ever loved. And the first thing he did was write. In 9 days he wrote the book that would change millions of lives. He wrote from memory, from observation, from the darkest laboratory the human soul has ever been placed in. The book was called Man's Search for Meaning. It has sold over 16 million copies. It has been translated into more than 50 languages. The American Library of Congress named it one of the 10 most influential books in America. And at the heart of it, one sentence that emerged from the darkest place on earth and became a lighthouse for everyone who has ever felt lost. His name was Viktor Frankl, the man who lost everything and discovered that the one thing no one can ever take from you is the freedom to decide what your suffering means. Between stimulus and response, he wrote, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. They took everything. They could not take that. Here are 3 quotes from Viktor Frankl. The first, everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way, end quote. Viktor Frankl. Second quote, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves, end quote. The third and last quote, those who have a why to live can bear with almost any how, end quote. Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl lost his wife, his mother, his brother, his life's work. In the darkest place on earth, he found the one thing they could not take, his freedom to choose what it meant. Here is your challenge today. Write down the hardest thing you are carrying right now. Just one thing, and beneath it write this question. What could it mean if you choose to find meaning in it? You are not Viktor Frankl. You do not face what he faced, but you have the same freedom he had, the freedom to choose. Use it. If this story moved you, please share it. Someone in your life is carrying something heavy right now, and they need to hear Viktor Frankl's words today. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and come back Thursday for the question that will change how you see your entire life.
You are unstoppable.